Hello, my name is Muhammed Karaoğlan, and this is my history presentation. My main topics are the term of enlightenment, philosophy and science, romantic reaction, industrial revolution, the encyclopedia, rise of engineer, and the major advances of the 18th century. The term enlightenment starts with the work of Denis Diderot and Gotthold Ephraim. Before that era, the church had pressure on scientists and their researchers, and their books were banned. But with the Enlightenment era, people started thinking critically, and this era started at the late 18th century, nearly at the same time with the Industrial Revolution. Philosophy and science. Newton theories had a great effect on both science and philosophy. This resulted in the emergence of mechanical philosophy, which means that chemistry and biology can be explained by the simple laws like physics. This idea was taken furthest by the materialistic philosophers. Materialistic philosophers had no belief in God. They denied the existence of God and the existence of spiritual things. The two approaches of this era to the philosophy was rationalism and empiricism. The rationalism means that people can know a thing only by thinking. You can reach the truth by thinking, and empiricism means that you can know the truth by experience. Immanuel Kant, who coined the word enlightenment, recoiled empiricism and rationalism by saying that one can gain knowledge not only from experience but also from reason. In that era, people also tried to classify the natural world like plants, minerals, and animals. The great chain of being by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz was also an idea that influenced science at that time. That means the great chain of being means that a continuous chain from the smallest insect to the human. This idea was rooted back to Aristotle and Plato, but it's revived by Gottfried Wilhelm Leibniz. Romantic reaction, it's a reaction to the materialist philosophers. Unlike to the materialist philosophers, the romantic reaction believe in God and the spiritual existence. Instead of reason, they preferred sentiment, and they believe the nature is a single organism imbued with spirit. This reaction emerged in Germany in a nature philosophy school. Industrial Revolution. Industrial Revolution started at the 18th century, using coal instead of wood. Trade, merge of capitalism was the main reasons of the Industrial Revolution. With the steam engines, this Industrial Revolution started at England, and with the steam engines, they produce products faster and more efficient way. With its success in England, the Industrial Revolution spread to Europe, America, and Canada, but it didn't came Ottoman and Arabic countries as fast as it went to Europe and America and Canada, because in Ottoman and Arabic countries, they had religious pressure, and they didn't want to replace their job to machines. Encyclopedia, the flagship publication of the encyclopedia was the French encyclopedia, as we can understand from his last name. With encyclopedias, the philosophers at that time and scientists at that time can spread their knowledge to the broader public. Rise of engineering. Before the 18th century, engineering wasn't a profession, and invention of engineering is one of the greatest inventions of the 18th century. John Smeaton was the first person to call himself a civil engineer. But civil engineering actually started in France 3 years before Smeaton. In both France and England, they had engineering schools and societies, but in early 19th century, the Smeatonian Club led the more formally organized Society of Civil Engineers in England, the first organization of its kind. They had major advances in astronomy, biology, chemistry, communication, construction, earth science, energy, food and agriculture, materials, mathematics, medicine and health, physics, tools, and transportation at the 18th century. I'm going to talk about a few of them. Astronomy. Astronomy improved greatly thanks to the Newton's theory of gravitation and progress made in mathematics. Astronomers and philosophers abandoned the Aristotelian idea that everything in the universe is static. And at that time, with the improved telescopes, people examined space and found the Neptune's moons. Construction in this period, canals, tunnels, bridges, and highways were built because they wanted to move food and goods and people from somewhere to another with the steam engine, machines, trains. In earth science, as a result of industrial revolutions, demand for coal and ores were increased. The discussed the interest in fossils and new science, geology, emerged. Before this era, people thought that fossils emerged after Noah's flood, but at that time it's proven wrong. In energy, before industrial revolution, people used natural sources like wind, muscle, and water. With the industrial revolution, people started to use steam engines, and this became the main power source. In food and agriculture, before canning food in glass jars or metal cans was invented, in the 19th century, people were using salting or pickling or preserving food or using natural ice and cold. But with the invention of canned food, they started using this, and we still do today. In transportation, gravel roads were introduced. People and goods traveled largely by waters on rails, in horse-drawn carriages, and in carriages drawn by the steam-powered locomotives. And that's all. Thanks for listening to me.